That's the tidal.
Tidal generation.
No,
Tidal power.
if only.
Tidal power.
Sorry,
Oh my
if
goodness.
only.
I think
Just
this
for
is
all
for
of
the
that.
water
Just-
part.
This is just to let the water out and to control the tides and any flood. They're the floodgates.
Yeah, they want to get out as fast as possible.
Right. Right. So all that power that was flowing around, these
There's also
tidal gates are right there.
the ocean.
This is Big C, and over here is China. Right. Yes. Yeah. And part of this that kind of becomes the question is not only the waste of that they're not generating from it, but this is being seen and sold with green tax credits, if you will.
Oh, man.
Who's giving the credits?
Well, no one yet in this case. I'll show you the one that has the lead project. But this is all infill, and it's all international money investing in this. And it's like our wind generation that's being sold to Massachusetts for the tax credits in Massachusetts. It's not about the wind, it's about the tax credits. So right here, get back my arrow. Right there, that's the floodgates. And standing on that little island right there that's connected. That's what this is looking at. Those are the mountains in the sea, and then this is the island that it connected to and then bent back and around. And then this is just a tunnel that goes through there. This is all finished. It took the last 20 years, and they're very proud of it because it did take 20 years, and they did stick with it. And they did fight off all the fishermen and environmental organizations that were...
It would protect the estuary.
And this was part of, we're on the roadway going across on that. And so here you can just see the construction of all the fill.
What's the dimension of that? Is that tracks from a bulldozer or?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, one of those big ones.
I thought it was an aerial view of sand.
Yeah, you can see there are the trucks right there. There's a crane right there. This is, one of those big mats to hold back the sea as they're filling in. And we're up on a highway looking down on these tractor treads. And then one other enterprise zone that's near Seoul and the airport of Incheon is this other one called Songdo, and some of you may have heard of Songdo. This was, well, maybe not started before the other one, but it's probably further along. They're not having to build that highway dike. They're just plain filling in the sea. So I took a photo of this because you could see this was the big panel that's the promo panel for the zone. And here's the sea, so also the Yellow Sea between Incheon and mainland China. But then here's the road acting as a levee, and then this is all reclaimed land in process of reclamation right here, so it's slowly being filled in, and over here, and then here you can see where there was a bit of a river, and then here there's still water in this quadrant, and then this is proposed. Some of these are built. The master plan is done by something Fox, Pedersen Fox, an international architectural firm in New York, Cohn Pedersen Fox. But the developers of this are Gale International and another company. There's, what I've been hearing is there's Merrill Lynch money involved, there are Korean multinational construction companies involved and international construction companies involved, and this Gale International which started out as an American one. I have the notes too, but that seems to be. We did have a tour of this whole complex. We had a tour of this convention center right down here, And a few of these buildings have now been built. Mostly like the 12-story ones, not all these big skyscrapers. This right here is supposed to be a new Central Park, quote, based on Central Park in New York City. Meanwhile, Korea has a heritage of beautiful national parks that were once temple parks. They didn't look to that for the pattern. They looked to New York City. On top of which, all of this, this is water coming back. So we push out the water and then we bring the water back in. The three reasons for this is, again, amusement park. So you can see the golf course up there. There's the golf course. There's a whole set of islands that's supposed to be amusement park. This is all new living zone, new living quarters, as well as at some place in here, it's all supposed to be enterprise zone for shipping, for all the major shipping of products out to the rest of the world. And this is a convention center. And these are all supposed to be LEED buildings. So to make the whole enterprise green development is to fill it with LEED designated buildings. Meanwhile, the cities are all, the streets are all at a scale of major car infrastructure. So there's a close-up of some of the construction and bringing the water back in as even still salt water, but new salt water, not the previous salt water, and the park going in. And that's what Songdo City currently looks like in terms of shipping enterprise. Major port. So this is the example of what would be included on a billboard, and then this is what you actually walk through as your future office, the intelligent space. These are the apartment blocks that are being built. This is a model of apartment blocks. You can also see that there's a lot of parking. All of this green space is all about parking. And actually all the older apartment blocks still have balconies like this model shows. And this is obsolete because now in the new version you don't get balconies. And then this here is, of course, a lot of it's about luxury. These, as the model apartment, these windows were still operable. So, and then this to me looked like the AC unit outside on this little mini balcony that's only wide enough for that unit. So you open it and you blow the cool air in. And some of this is because, well, like I learned in Hong Kong, there's very little air circulation between towers, and they're starting to cut like donut holes in the towers so that the air circulation can come through in terms of convective currents from building to building. That wasn't being talked about here. Just this notion of putting your ventilation unit on your balcony. So some of the examples that actually were interesting. Korea has, this is a radiant floor. Concrete slab with radiant strips, and then made even more efficient with a grid of copper mesh over it. But it's a tradition. Their old farmhouses, their old temples all had radiant floors.
Comso, right? Is that related, or is
Hundul is the name of the flooring system. Then, this is part of the luxury. You get luxury in your new apartment, but mixed in with the luxury is here's your sink, and this sink then drains into the container for the toilet, and that's the gray water that goes into the toilet, and it's all very compact. And then this little object